This shit has gotten out of hand. There I am, minding my business.
Keep on running. Don't say it's over, 'cause it's never over. I'm running from unhappiness. No place to go but towards the end. 'Cause I'm not impressed with the messages sent by those claiming they know me.
Have you, in the past, I don't know, Facebook, are you sure you want to post this? This post violates our community guidelines. The post or the comment. Laugh out loud. This was funny as hell. Twitter, are you sure you want to tweet this? Some people may find this offensive. The comment. This was dumb as hell. I don't know, just make it. YouTube comment. This post may violate guidelines. Are you sure? And you're talking about the behavior of someone or YouTube content, and you have AdSense, and they're asking this for kids, or this content isn't allowed to be monetized. So this is why you see a lot of content creators moving to other platforms like Patreon or something else where they don't have this controlled element. So there I am, minding my business, and I'm on Reddit, and the content was posted: transgender woman barred from female events in UCI, wherever the fuck that is. And my comment essentially said, first of all, let me just say this. Everything I just stated has this. They've overcorrected. They've fixed something that did not need to be fixed. If you don't have the wherewithal to manage your own social media, you have bigger problems. So I had to ask myself, what is the mess? What is the motive, the real motive here behind this censorship? Behind this controlled free speech, the illusion of commentary. How is it you have a platform that's whole purpose is rooted in people engaging in said content? You may not like what they gotta say. You personally may find it aggressive, abusive, insensitive, whatever opinion you may have. You are entitled to feel how you feel. But are you entitled to silence that individual? Is it something blatant that, okay, you need to be banned? For instance, let's say I have a support group for women who have been raped, and a rapist comes on and he's posting about how to rape women, how to commit crimes, how to commit murder, things that are just obviously very blatantly a violation. And while it's an ugly perspective, it's a perspective that they have. So that is a direct line of saying, of seeing how that particular commentary needs to be removed. Right? You can't come on a thread, support group for women, talking about how you want to rape them, how you enjoy raping them. Or that is a bit obvious. What isn't so fair to say, for instance, let's say you're racist or you don't like gay people, you don't like trans people. There's a fine line between saying you don't like it and throwing up some scripture or whatever you feel supports your perspective, and then slurring and attacking them. If you provided a weak argument, again, someone doesn't have to agree with your opinion, but you should still be allowed to have it. There's a white guy who has a wild hair up his ass. I forget his name. That's this is how you should be moving. I don't know his name. Don't remember his name, and I only remember to bring him up because of what just happened to me. And I simply just no longer watched his content anymore. That easy. I didn't report him to YouTube. I didn't report him to Twitter. I didn't report him to the FBI. I mean, y'all are really weird, right? I don't care. Right? I just removed them from my content viewership and left it moving. Because while what he was saying was unintelligent, if you don't do your due diligence, if you allow the internet to warp your mind, that's you. Do you? If I see something I don't like, I ignore it. If it's truly upsetting me, I'll block it. That rarely happens because again, I just don't give things that much credence over my life. I just keep it moving, right? This person, so the article goes on to say, whatever, and I said again, so basically my comment was, this is true. Transgender women are not females, and if this sporting event, or the event, I don't know if it's sporting, was for females, what is the issue? We all have estrogen, testosterone. I go on to explain that. I go on to break down what trans is. I go down to break down just, it was an educated opinion. I didn't go in on, I didn't say I hate trans people. I have trans friends. I did not, the comment was not in violation of anything. But if you don't like my opinion or my argument or the facts that I presented, then you are going to be quote unquote offended. That's fine. So we now have this culture of anonymity, right? Where people are allowed to block you, report you, flag you, downvote you simply because they don't like what you say. And that's a problem. The past few times I was going to post on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. In fact, YouTube just flat out deleted something after I posted it. Are you, I know I'm not alone feeling like this. I consider, I try to take what I say. I just don't put too much into this. It's entertainment. It should be for adults. I don't think children should be on social media anyways, unadulterated. You haven't lived enough. And see, the thing is, we're ushering in older traditions, older mindsets, and a lot of people hide behind the web, right? They're keyboard warriors. They say things about people that they would never dare say to someone's face, never would dare say or do. But here we are. So I wake up and the news people permanently ban me, right? And the way I dragged whatever moderator did that. Now I've been on Reddit for over 10 years or something. And each time you get banned, they'll say you can respond. No, I've had maybe 2 bans removed that were done erroneously or from an overzealous moderator. And then the other times, if you respond asking for clarification, because again, I hate when companies communicate vaguely to you, very ambiguous. We violated our terms and conditions. We're blocking you. What did I violate? Tell me show me what rule so that I can piece together where you're coming from versus this list, often very vague, of quote unquote rules, terms and conditions, and you just tell me you're violated. I think that's crazy. And I'm more bewildered by this because I was in support of the content. I simply was saying that we've got to find a way at the high level to respect all of our genders. Also, we need to come to a point where we understand the difference between sex and genitalia, which is your sexual reproductive organs, your penis, your vagina, or your hermaphrodite genitalia, versus the gender you are. And we've got to find a safe space for everyone to coexist. That's basically what I said. I didn't go in on trans people. I didn't go in on... I'm flabbergasted as to what the ban was for, right? But when you reach out to the cowardly moderators, the bitch-ass moderator, to say, why was I banned? Like, what did you... This is crazy. I don't... It's at the end of the day, I don't care. I don't care about this particular ban. I don't care about the particular subreddit. But I do care about the fact that these people they hide behind these titles, they hide behind the internet, and they go on and ban you. You reach out for clarification. They say now you're harassing them. Even though it tells you can ask them why you were banned or find out what the problem was. Now you're harassing them when you reach out. Reddit doesn't care about this, right? Then, once you figure out that's the game, and you'll never fully know what happened, they don't feel like they owe you that explanation. You know how many people... Listen. The way I just went off on them because it's so it's so cowardly and it's unnecessary. It's bitch made. So I'm pissed off because it's what transgender person who was offended by my comment, because nothing I said was wrong. you go block me. It's so stupid. Then Reddit bans me because I snapped. Oh, then they acted like they know what I was talking about. Bitch, you just banned me, and literally I just happened to be on my phone. As soon as notifications came in, I was replying, "Bitch, you a bit." Like I just went off because it's all that been up frustration. Just they got that today because there was nothing that I commented violated your so-called the subreddit rules or warranted a vote, a downvote. Let me see if I can find a screenshot of the Facebook shit that was popping up when I would go comment something. Are you sure you want to post this? Then I can't even remember what I said because it was so futile. It was so, this is offensive to people. And seconds after I disputed it, we made a mistake. We're sorry, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, y'all, this is frustrating. YouTube videos. Content creators are speaking in hieroglyphics and shit. You can't cut. I'm grown. I want to hear you say fuck, I'm mad. I want to hear you say shit. I have 3 degrees. The highest ones you can get. I don't got to explain to you why I feel like cussing. I don't need to explain to you. I don't give a fuck. Bitch, if you got a motherfucking problem, block me. Move on. I hate to feel micromanaged. My creative outlet should not be micromanaged. Make your own. You're missing the point, dumbass. The point is, you should not have to censor yourself to this capacity. It's not breaking the law to have a strong opinion. It's not breaking the law to cuss. And then it's a double standard, right? I forget what, it was several years ago. I think I had on a pair of shorts and a bra, something like that. And YouTube said it was overly sexual and nudity, right? This is just an example. I'm not hating. I really don't care. WAP is still on YouTube. It has over 500 million views. The song audio has over 300 million views. And these ladies, as you already know, are scantily dressed, vulgar music. Again, I don't care. Your art form is your art form. Water coming out of the titties, no panties on. Just, it's the double standard for me, right? But, I mean, they showing it all. But this is public. Your kids can get onto this, right? And that's the thing. It's not the artist or the content creator's responsibility to raise your children. You may not like this delivery. You may not like this opinion. If you are overly bothered or something just truly irks you, block, move on. You see how easy that is? I don't necessarily care for Drake's music. I don't go on his platform and say he sucks. I don't go on his platform blocking him or making videos saying it's trash. I don't care. Now, if you ask me my opinion, I may give it. But to just go out of my way to just hate on someone, I just don't do that. Now, if I'm a content creator and my content is to review music releases, if it's to review concert videos, For instance, Tasha K is currently in the news because she had an opinion about Blue Ivy's dancing skills. You may or may not agree, but the rationale is not about what she said about it's a child. It's this. First of all, Blue Ivy, I guarantee you, her and her mom been in this game long enough to know they probably talked to her about negative opinions. I don't like saying the word haters because you shouldn't be just deemed a hater because you just are voicing your opinion about someone's art. If I'm an artist, I don't give a fuck what you think about it because I like it. That's all that matters. And the thing is, she could have did phenomenal dancing. Y'all still would have a critique. She can y'all critique y'all hate on this child so much. I think she's absolutely fabulous, and I look forward to seeing what she does as she gets older, and just more of her personality. Because I just think I think it's awesome, right? And in the same breath, I could say that when she was first dancing, she was somewhat stiff. We could attribute that to shyness, age. Hell, bitch, hell, we got grown adults. People, Beyonce's contemporaries who can't do what she does. That's not hating. That's not attacking. You didn't go out of your way to break in someone's home and say, I saw you dancing. It's critique. People are critiquing Beyonce. She ain't dancing enough for me. She cut the song too soon. Why she wearing this out? People are going to just open their mouth. And I was watching a Erica J video where she was talking about people hating on Vanessa Williams and what's her name? Tisha Campbell, talking about getting old. And she got a good point. Was it her? Yeah. She said something about how you had the thought, boom, we all had those thoughts. But to go out of your way to post it on their platform, to go out of your way to comment something on it, it's just it's a time and a place. Did Tasha K go under Blue Ivy's YouTube or Instagram and say, bitch, you can't dance? No. I don't think she did. I'm pretty sure she didn't. That's a bit much. Her age is irrelevant when she's a performer. It doesn't matter. You're getting critiqued, you're getting performed. No one's going to care about your age. And I don't think her commentary, first of all, she's a commentator. She's meant to make you entertained and laugh. That has something to do with it. But at the root of what she was saying, it was just her opinion that a lot of people share. For instance, Trick Daddy doesn't think Beyonce can sing. I think she can sing. We have a different opinion. Who cares? It's that simple. Y'all want to cancel people because you don't like what they say. That's so weird. It's so weird. Where was I at? Alright, so you can't say bitch, you can't say fuck, you can't say this, you can't say that without someone. So it's like, I don't. If we over 18, we should be able to say what the fuck we want. As far as it should be, the quote unquote rules, and that's what I said to the moderators. Like, if the rule is subject to subjection, which you find offensive, if it's subject to ambiguity and it's vague, it shouldn't be a rule. It should be very blatant. On this thread, you can't say the word nigger, which lately I've been seeing a lot of shows just throwing that word around, right? Hard. That is undeniable, very clear. But when it comes to perspective, you've got to be very careful at what you consider harassment, what you consider offensive. Don't be overly this. How do you know what someone's doing? It's subjective. You can't be objective when it comes to that kind of thing. In this subreddit, you cannot put 2 plus 2 equals 4. That is very blatant. That way you know you are banned because you violated rule number 2. What is rule number 2? You use 2 plus 2 equals 4. But because you say you don't like trans people and I'm trans, okay, life goes on. Do you need to be banned because that's how you feel? No. Now, if you go into a specific trans Reddit and we're a support group for transgender people, do not come here bullying trans people. If you do, you'll be blocked. I make a Reddit account. I go to that subreddit. Transgender people are stupid. You are not real. You're stupid. Da 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 da. That's a ban. I clearly have no business over here. Now you take that same content and you put it in a general neutral position like a news outlet or a news Reddit. Transgender woman, I don't know, blocked from eating Philly cheesesteaks. I go over there. This is crazy. I don't understand why people are transgender anyways. They should only have to eat fish sandwiches. Unintelligent, ignorant, more than likely wrong, but they're wrong. Ignore it, it's trash, I mean, pay this no mind. Does that person need to be banned permanently? No. No action needs to be taken. Y'all hide behind these upvotes and downvotes. If you say something that someone general consensus doesn't agree with, if it's too quote unquote far out there, it's a downvote. It's a downvote. It's a downvote. It's a downvote. People are reporting it. People are blocking you. People want you banned. I just really made those examples up, but hopefully I hope you can understand my point. Like, if I'm a support group for children who are molested and you are a child molester and you're commenting how you do, you're banned. That's very clear. But you can't have a rule up that says, if it says no overly sexual content, well, what do you deem over sexually? What I deem over sexually may vary from what you got to be very specific. You can't show your penis. You can't show your titties raw. You can't show your butt crack. You can't show your right pinky toe. So that when you get banned, we're going to say, we banned you because you showed your right pinky toe, and we clearly say in Rule 4, in the foot subreddit, you can't show your feet. That's very explicit. It's very detailed. It's nothing to interpret. That's very objective. You knew exactly what it was. We are a math subreddit. Do not come over here talking about history lessons. Back in 1776, on July 1st, you're banned because you violated rule number 1, where we say don't talk about history, we only talk about math. That's fair. Now, I don't think you should be banned for it, because I think it's just a waste of everyone's time. But again, I can understand why they will be banned. Most of the time I've gotten banned, someone else banned me because I said that COVID, when the company was trying to force people to go back to work after working from home and showing improved metrics, increased sales, breaking records, blah, 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 blah. some of the people had readjusted their lifestyle to working from home and or learned or realized that they could work from home. All I simply said was, you shouldn't require someone to get a vaccine for COVID if they don't want one, and have to weigh the cost of their livelihood when you needed them. They went to work from home and kept your company afloat. Sure, if they're meeting their performance goals, why would you want to break that? Because that wasn't the motive behind getting people to go back to the office, right? Permanently banned. What was offensive about my comment? So when you get banned for stupid shit like that, it just makes you bitter in a sense of, you know what, fuck social media, because I can't be fake. I shouldn't have to water down, have a generic comment. I see the dumbest shit get thousands of upvotes. But when you have a critical thought or something that is detailed, it's very rarely will people pay attention, or the ones who do, I find they'll message me privately, or we'll have a private exchange, and I don't get it. AdSense. Who get YouTube? Is it 13 or over or 18 over? First of all, again, this is my personal opinion, having seen it with my own two eyes. This is not hearsay. This is not just some random data. This is a compilation of professional experience, direct experience, primary source experience, research data, materials, and compiling different outcomes as far as crime rates, social anxiety, poor interpersonal relationship skills, all these different things we see manifesting in young adults in this younger generation, and people who grew up with cell phone access, smartphones particularly, and social media at young ages. It warps them. It corrupts their mind. I know that to be true. I don't need anyone to agree with me. I'm not asking to be agreed with. I'm simply sharing my perspective. Now, if you agree with it, great. If you don't, that's great too. You under 18, you have no business having a smartphone. You have no business being on social media. You can have a phone for 911 texts and calls, yes, when you're at school or out away from home. That's it. You don't need a smartphone. If you could observe from these videos of these kids fighting in school, or just the school videos that you see publicly, if you know someone who's ever worked with students directly or been in that environment, go look for yourself. The kids are using drugs earlier. They're sexually active earlier. They're blatant about it. And then on the phone side of things, they're addicted to games. They're addicted to their social media. They're addicted to that damn phone. They're not learning's not taking place. They're Googling answers and pasting information. We're not studying for content memory and actual foundational knowledge. It's just literally, can you Google the answer? And you don't see how it ain't about what you feel is or isn't right, but the bigger picture of what they're doing to your children and what they're creating for this generation, as far as watering down your wage slavery, right? So this whole blocking of your content, it's not about ads. It's not about access for children. It's truly about, how do we control the media while giving this false illusion of creative access, or the illusion of freedom and freedom of speech. If I'm a company and I'm making ads, I want as many eyes on my ads as possible. Think of the most wholesome woman you know. She's sucking her husband's dick. She likes having sex. She may drink. She may cuss. That doesn't diminish who she is as a person. Why do y'all have these false narratives of people? How do you think we got here? Your mom and dad had sex. People cuss. Okay, and to even growing up, I would say, in my mind, it's just a word, just like it's any other word. Fuck, I just stubbed my toe. Or fuck, this bitch blocked, or they didn't do something. It's an emotional thing for response. That's what I correlated cursing, quote unquote, cursing with. And there's some history behind, motherfucker and all these other words that people say. But that's just, to me, shit. What happened? Man, I just hit my funny bone. Or this shit's too. Who cares? That's not a reason to block you or ban you or say your content's offensive. And it's so, again, it's the double standard. News outlets, other people are allowed to come on and talk about, oh, so-and-so was arrested for molesting children, so-and-so was arrested for attempted murder. But if your content creator goes and talk about that very same story, it's going to be demonetized, banned, or blocked. Or you're going to see them talking about, now it's so-and-so was raped. Or you got to read between I hate that. Growing up watching TV, why are you bleeping shit out? What did he really say just then? Why are you... It takes away from the content. Viewer discretion advised. If you gotta put that up there, great, do it. That's fine. Let the art be the art. I know some of the most spiritual, wholesome people. When they get upset, they might cuss. When they're laughing, having fun, they might cuss. That doesn't take away the content of their character. There's cussing and unintelligent, and then there's cussing and being emotional or adding some flavor or just being expressive with your words. Know the difference. There's belligerent and unintelligent. And again, either one don't matter to me. Who cares? You're using your words how you feel you need to use your words. I remember I called a utility company person, adult, and they got upset. So I'm just over the censorship, and it's just frustrating. I haven't really watched Tasha K lately, or in years really. I mean, I've watched a few videos here and there since then, but around that whole Cardi B thing, I still to this day don't know exactly what she said about the girl. Didn't watch the original videos, didn't really know because I had stopped watching her for a moment. But I love that she kind of branched off and has her own little thing as far as the website, because that's got to be frustrating. So I think that's what Patreon tried to fill the shoes of by having you have paid access to, I guess, unadulterated content. And think about this. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic. I didn't hear democracy. So even as a kid, I didn't. Maybe sixth grade, I stopped standing for the pledge. I stopped swearing to that bullshit. And this is pre-social media, being quote unquote woke. I just always looked at things different. Religion, I read the Bible, and started, when I got to the end, I started just, well, even throughout, I started asking questions. And as like an older thing, anyways, most of your life is spent being controlled by other people, other things. And then you're 18 to 30, you're debunking those things, you're subscribing to those things, you're learning what's true, you're learning what's not true, you're creating your own, well, some of us are creating our own, idea of what the world is or what things are. Then you're 30, 40, and you're executing your plans, working. It's not working, you're modifying. 40, 50, 60, 70, so on and so forth. Like it or not, I can tell you what happens when you drive down Peachtree Road because I've driven down Peachtree Road. I can tell you what happens if you hit your funny bone. I can tell you what happens if you place a phone call. I can't tell you what happens when you take your last breath. We can speculate, we can say what we feel, but who truly knows? Unless you can tell me you died and came back. So, I say that to say, what are they trying to do? So they've created this illusion where you think you got freedom, and you don't. And when you speak out about certain things, or now they're trying to silence you and call it community guidelines. They're trying to silence you and call it violating the rules of a subreddit because you don't have a general, what is the trend, what is the popular opinion, what does the group think say, what is everyone else repeating. They get you with sensationalizing things. Student loan forgiveness, student loan forgiveness. They've been talking about this bullshit for years. What the fuck is $20,000? My car costs more than $20,000, and that's been paid off. Most people who truly need forgiveness, first of all, stop calling it student loan forgiveness and call it student loan balance waiver up to 20 grand, because that's what it is. And if it falls under forgiveness for you and your amount due, then great. The majority of people need more than $20,000 forgiven, right? And that is not a lot of money. And that's not helping anyone. When most of the world's problems can be eradicated with the stroke of a pencil, stroke of a pen, does it really qualify as a problem? Are we still debating healthcare access, rent, housing cost, homelessness, wage slavery? All things that man sustains and man can create or channel. I was saying to someone yesterday how a lot of people have student loan debt and they're not getting anything now. They won't get anything now. And growing up, I think one of the things I learned about adulthood, you don't know until you're in it. So, growing up, you think, oh, you should go to college, get a decent job, you'll be, you're good. And then you get into it and you realize, but by the time you realize it's kind of, I don't want to say it's too late, but you are working for objects, working to stay out of debt or in debt, and you're not really realizing that, okay, this little job ain't paying me no money, and it's just been creeping away inch by inch, year after year. And that's why we're seeing so many people complain about, their housing costs went up several $100s this past year to make it for all that COVID relief, cough, cough. Or how, There's some family, some entity, someone's quote unquote wealth is tied and attributed to this student loan debt, so they're not going to just wipe away their quote unquote power. The same with real estate. I can't be a landlord talking about the ills of the world, and I'm actively participating in the disenfranchisement of people. It's not like homes are given at a wholesale rate and you can mark it up 10-15% and make a small profit. No, this property has a mortgage on it, and it's been bought and sold for decades. They're not getting the property at a lower rate. No, they got to get the same rate for the price of property value, blah, blah, blah. They just choosing to rent it out. 9 times out of 10, you're paying off the property and plus more, right? Property taxes go up, they pass the cost to you. Something needs repaired, they may get it repaired, but then they're going to raise the rent, so you're really paying for it, or the next tenant's paying for it. They never really pay for anything. So I don't think real estate should be a commodity, nor should it be a hustle think about it. What in my spirit, what is wrong in my spirit that I need to own multiple places, well, quote unquote, own multiple places of land where I'm subjugating people, charging them rent? I'm not doing them any favors. I worked a job long enough, had 2 years of income, qualified for a mortgage, got my first property, flipped it, sold it, or rented it out, got a second one, and now I've done that several times. Now I'm a multi-millionaire, and I'm living off of your sweat, living off of your equity. But I think I know God, but I think I am able to speak. So the more you start to uncover things, and all these people talking about how to help you get money or wealth and riches, they're failing to tell you what got them theirs. They had income. They had a job paying them lots of money to be in a position to get that credit, to be in a position to do what they're doing. Or they were in the Army military where 90% their living expenses are taken care of. They got A1 credit because they ain't got no debt. All these programs to benefit them. So it's levels to how these people are moving and manipulating the system to their benefit. But I can't own 8 houses, charging rent every year, raising the rent, people barely making any money, but I'm living comfortably. And we have this selfish attitude of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Better them than me. And in theory, the idea of someone owning a property or a landlord as a business is one thing. How many landlords are putting money, reinvesting back into their property? None. Not most of them don't. Upgrading their bathroom. And then, to me, that's not a cost I need to pass on to you. If I am truly the owner of this property and I'm simply renting it out, my profit should be marginally small. And then you got some landlords complaining about after they deduct all their expenses, they're not really making a profit. Why are you a landlord then? No one's forcing you to do this. Let someone else qualify for that mortgage and live there, and that be that. So I'm just, taking a side eye to a lot of these so-called people who are in the public eye, who are trying to tell other people how they got rich or what they need to do, and they're missing the biggest point about that. They're in a high earning position, so they don't really need credit, but you making your own money, so you really shouldn't even be in a position where who cares? But who cares? I'm good because I got money. So if you get some money, then maybe I can help you. But that's the big piece of all that. They had a windfall, and they knew what to do with it, or they have a continual windfall because they have a lot of a high earning, so they made a mistake so they can share that knowledge with you. But if you ain't making that kind of money, it ain't nothing to really share with you. You blow up as an artist and you're a multimillionaire, then you invest in the right business or tech, and now that turns to Uber. Now you're a millionaire 50 times over because your investment paid off. That's what they failing to tell you. You know, oh my God, see, that's why we're going on tangents. We was talking about censorship. So, student loans. So I was going to say, if you're not going to forgive them, give him an option to turn that student loan balance into a mortgage and allow these people to buy a home, because you're not going to get it anyways. And so at least this way, you're getting some type of payment and the world is better. So again, what is so wrong with making solutions that actually help the world? They don't care about you. They don't care about us. They want to hold something over your head. If the federal minimum wage, if your housing costs exceed that amount, it's too high. And even maxing it at that is too high because you have other bills to take care of. But the conversation should be more qualitative. You work an honest job, you work 40 hours a week. The last thing you should have to worry about is how you're going to take care of yourself, meaning medical access, prescriptions if you need them, going to see a doctor regularly, going to see the dentist regularly, paying your utility bills, paying for shelter costs. Those should be an automatic thing, and they're not. Education. Why don't you want more educated people? Why don't you want more people? The success. If I tell you to hold your hand out and just hold them out, and I throw 1,000 bees at you, some of them are going to fall through the cracks, but they're all equally qualified. They're all equally work just as hard, but it's a scarcity issue. There's not enough space. But some of them are going to catch. So you overcame your barriers. You overcame, your opportunities, obstacles. You were in the right place at the right time. You quote unquote made it. That's great. That's fine. I'm speaking to the day-to-day living, and I think that we've got to change. And until someone's talking about true change, all of this shit is a facade. The government don't give a fuck about you. That they did, a lot of things that we have going on in this world would not be. They got no problem spending billions of dollars on war and dumb shit, but they ain't gonna help you with student loans or put it into a position where ahead of time you pay, 5% of your net pay for 3 years and your balance is forgiven, or put it into a position where we want you to be educated. We want more smart people. We want you to work your muscle, work your brain. And you are put in a position to where it's going to school is free. And it's a good quality. What else? But anyways, turn it into a mortgage to let people pay it off or be housing, something like that. But just to continue to have this hanging over people's heads is stupid. AdSense. Most people are 18 and over. Most kids ain't got no money. So I want as many eyes on my content as well. The same people who are watching this so-called offensive content are the same people who are consumers. Why do you care what the content is? If I'm a company, I want as many eyes on my project, on my product. Why am I micromanaging the content? So you got to ask yourself, these people are in business to make money. Google, Alphabet Company, the ads that they see on the videos. They're not restricting the content because they want to. That makes logical sense. You have a large engagement on your following. Yeah, and they push an ad to your channel because I know people gonna see it. Oh wait, let me pull it back because they said fuck at the first 2 seconds of the video. They're talking about this. So they're demonetizing content creators. That's why they're not posting, or they're posting in hieroglyphics and bleeping words out, and you have to fucking guess what they said. It was somebody posted a video, and the quote unquote slur was darky, and it was blurred out and blanked out and bleeped out. I had to go to the comments and say, what the fuck? What slur was? I'm like, I didn't even know what the fuck they were talking about. It's just irritating. But I just want to come on and say that I'm just the micromanaging's got to stop. The double standards have got to stop. The ambiguity has got to stop. The anonymity has got to stop. People should be allowed to say in most of the time what they want. I try to give examples of where it was a blatant violation, where you had no business being over there in the first place. But if it's just your opinion, how ignorant it may or uneducated it may be, it's yours to have. You shouldn't be banned for that. Harassing someone is making 18 profiles and messaging them to every 10 minutes. Showing up their job, showing up their home, emailing them 100 times a day. That's harassment. How am I harassing the moderator who just told me that if I have a question, I can ask the moderator team, but they respond with, you've been muted for 28 days. How is that harassment? And you just told me that I could contact these motherfuckers and ask them why I was banned. Make it make sense.
On lock, the trunk stay locked. Glock on cock, the block stay hot.
Break it down. Here we go, my friend. Ooh, 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 ooh.